Alrighty! What's up, everybody? It is I, your Travel God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here for a late Monday night video right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. Don't forget to like the video and hit the subscribe button down below in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. So show you my channels your love and support. Leave a comment on this video and any one of my past videos, now videos, or in the future coming videos. But don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, and Satan and Ozzy will eat your soul, and you'll pretty much not be around for 2026 and beyond that. So don't do it. Go to your dead channel and do it there. Because you ain't going to do it on mine. You don't like it? Tough shit. And as always, thank you for watching. And follow me on social media. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Show love and support there as well. Don't forget to share the video all over the internet. And, as always, don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you do, well, you're pretty much SOL. You know what that means. If you don't know what it means, too bad. And for our newbies out there, if you've never seen my channel before in your life, and you're here for the first time, and if you like the content on this channel, my other channels, then hit that subscribe button down below. And when you do, as we say in the business, when you do subscribe to my channels, because you know you do, you want to, I know you do. But welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab the cold one. Or warm one if you want. Sit back, relax, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, well, fuck you. And that's that. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final show ever. Ever. I mean, ever. I'm done after today. After today, I'm done. Till 2026. I got you there. Well, you probably knew that already anyway. But this is the final show of 2025. We're going to take tomorrow and Wednesday off, unless there's a major news story. But I doubt anything's going to be major tomorrow on Wednesday. But, I mean, we'll see. In the world of wrestling and music and movies and all that other shit. So, but that's that. So, after today, probably, most likely, I would say 95% not going to be doing videos until the ball drops on Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. So Thursday late after midnight, probably like 1, 2, maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I would do my first video over on my Peter Joseph channel. First video of 2026. And we got that. We'll talk about NXT. Well, we won't do an NXT review tomorrow because it's taped and, you know, it's all that stuff. But, I will talk about a little bit about it on my, my year in review video coming Thursday afternoon or Thursday night. But I will be doing my first review of the year. That'll be your AEW New Year's Smash video. Which will be, probably Thursday afternoon or Thursday night-ish. But we got that. Then we'll get back to our regularly scheduled program, pretty much starting on Friday as well. So with your TNA Ring of Honor review and your SmackDown review becoming maybe late Friday night, because it's a 3-hour show. So maybe late Friday night, early Saturday. With that, and then we'll talk a little bit about Wrestle Kingdom on episode 100 of the Shadow Slayer 2.0 series. And get back to your Collision reviews and all that other good shit. So 2026 is going to start off with a good old-fashioned Gilmore Cutter size bang! And that's pretty much it. But, excuse me. But this video, the final video of 2025. So I'm going to take a little bitty break, like basically a 48-hour break. So, that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. Want to recharge and get the batteries, back in order when we hit the new year. And that's that. And I know people are like, why did you take it on Christmas? I told you I wanted to go up with a proper bang. So I can afford to, dabble if I wanted to, No, not lie per se, even though I kind of did, but, whatever. It's my show, not yours. My life, not yours. But it is what it is. Let me move on. But 2026 is going to be what it is when we get there. But we'll talk about that later. Or next year. Not later. Next year. But right now, on your getting close to late Monday night, December the 29th, 2025, or if you're watching tomorrow, or later tomorrow, it's December the 30th, 2025. We are pretty much around 48 hours away from that fucking sphere dropping, and all the people in Times Square are gonna be cold. Oh boy, we're gonna have frigid people in Times Square. First time in like 5 years. Well, pretty much about 5 years. I think last year wasn't that cold, but still. Supposed to be like the wind chills are gonna in the teens and maybe single digits. Who knows? On Wednesday night. But bundle up, you fuckers. When you're gonna be at Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve and everything. Ugh, who's gonna watch that? Oh, Mariah Carey's gonna be on again. Oh, is she gonna lip sync again? And get caught? Remember that year she sang and she sang and like she was like this and we knew she was lip syncing? Because I think the track wasn't like syncing up with her singing, and she kind of had she got caught and everybody's like, oh fuck! She knew it too, she stormed off the fucking stage. Can't do that when it's live! Maybe lose the backing track, get back to singing your high notes. I know you're like 57, 58 years old. I don't know if you can hit those high notes anymore, Mariah Carey, but maybe it's time to hang it up. Can't have any rock bands there. I know it's cold, but still. Still have some rock bands out there, like, can't have Kiss, but, bring out Iron Maiden or some shit. Bring out Eddie. As the ball drops, you see Eddie just rise from the freaking stage or something like that. And he has a ball or something like that, and he drops the ball. That'd be funny as hell. Eddie! Happy New Year, Eddie! Bleh. Drops a ball and it blows up on the stage or some shit. I don't know. I'm just being funny. Anyway, but yeah. We're 48 hours away from 2026, and that's that. But, final, and as the title below says, the final video of the year for 2025, let's talk about the final live Raw of the year, and it's your Monday Night Raw review for December the 29th, 2025, from the Kia Center in Orlando, Florida. Alright, one more time, our commentary team of Joe Tessitore and Bad News Wade Barrett. I'm afraid, Joe, I got some bad news for you. Oh, speaking of Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett, we'll see them on Friday Night SmackDown because they're switching as we start the new year. I believe it's at Friday or it might be the week after. But I'm pretty sure it's Friday that we're going to see Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett on the first SmackDown of 2026, and we're back to Michael Cole and Corey Slave on Raw for the Netflix anniversary show. So we got that. So back to the kind of normal schedule until Joe Tessitore goes back to doing some college football, and that'll be in probably around August, around SummerSlam time. We got that. Alright, we're on the road to basically the Netflix premiere and the SmackDown premiere, and then eventually after that, the SmackDown event in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, that shithole. And then we're pretty much going to be back in, pretty much in Europe most of January, except for a Saturday Night Main Event. For SmackDown, I don't know about, I think Raw will be taped, because it'll be away. Then they're going to come back to the States, and then back overseas for, Survivor Series, for SmackDown, before Survivor Series, and then the Raw after Survivor Series, which would be February the 2nd, in the Land of Sand, Saudi Arabia. Which will be the home of Royal Rumble and 2027's WrestleMania 43, which will suck. Yeah, next year we're gonna get a lot of Europe shows, so if you have a VPN, you better fire that shit up. Because we got Raw and SmackDown in England, in Berlin, January the 9th, specifically for Bash in Berlin. Going to be in jolly old England, love, the week after that. Then Saudi Arabia, of course. And then in May, maybe earlier than that, I think after the Elimination Chamber, I forget what the Elimination Chamber is. Then we got WrestleMania in Vegas for the second year in a row. Then in May, we're going back down to Puerto Rico! Issa's favorite place, well, she lives there. So Backlash, tentatively going to be in Puerto Rico sometime in May. Maybe the beginning. I think it was beginning or end of May. I think the end of May. So it's around the time where Double Nothing's around. Oh, God forbid it's the same fucking day. Oy, what am I gonna watch? Well, I'm probably gonna watch Double or Nothing, but I might sneak in and watch Backlash from Puerto Rico. Because they're pretty much at the same time. Pretty much. You know, now, it's 1 hour later in Puerto Rico, so right now it's like 4 a.m. So they're 1 hour ahead of us in the wintertime, and then the summer, and then in springtime, they're pretty much on par with us, so. Yeah, what are you gonna do? The greatest island in the world is one of our, was a U.S. territory, not supposedly a state, but whatever. But, come to Puerto Rico, the shining star of the Caribbean. I'd like to go there someday. Not to see Issa, but just to visit the country and go to some wrestling shows. And eat some good Puerto Rican food. It's really Spanish food, but still. Give me a pincho! Anyway. I'd like to have a pincho. Not bicho, I'm saying pincho. It's different. Oh, no. Spanish rice, I like to have some Spanish rice, some meat on the stick. Not gyro, but, or gyro, that's Greek for, gyro. It's gyro. But yeah, I like to try some, new food here and there. No, it doesn't kill my intestines, but whatever. Alright, moving on. I know you clipped that part, but whatever. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this getting close to late Monday night, it is time on the final video of the year for your Raw review. Let's get into it. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And we do see Trick on this show. In a little segment coming up in a little bit. Alright, so we open up with a recap of from last week with Austin Theory. Basically his audition to join up with the Vision, and I think it kind of went well. So anyway, we see him with the Oracle. My name is Paul Heyman. We have the fake Puerto Rican Logan Paul, and B&B Security Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, the fake tribal chief. The tribal thief, he's putting up his ones like he's the actual freaking, he's in the Bloodline shit. Put your one down or this is your one, okay? You big fat otaku wannabe. But I digress. Alright, so Vision comes out. Paul Heyman can't even talk because they're chanting for CM Punk, the Raw Heavyweight Champion. So Heyman finally talks. And he talks about how you're looking at the future WrestleMania main eventers right in front of you. I don't know about that. Well, maybe Braun, but, Braun Breaker, but everybody else probably on the mid-card. Get some OTC chants for the real OTC. Put up your ones for Roman fucking Reigns, who will be... We'll see him next week with Beastie Brock Lesnar on the Netflix premiere. I don't know how that's gonna go. Well, Roman will probably come out and say, I'm gonna be in the Royal Rumble, y'all. And then Beastie comes out like, I'm gonna see you there, too. Yeah, but you're gonna be thrown out there, Brock. But I digress. So we got the OTC chance. Heyman thanks the fans for their irrelevant opinions. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go out of character. Kind of still was in character, but I digress. God damn, I'm gonna itch. My fucking leg. Ow! That hurts. Anyway. So that brings Paul to Austin Theory. Gets the mic, says, I have a lot to talk about. Starting with you, Braun Breaker. So then Heyman explains that the goal of the team is bigger than that of any member. And then CM Punk. He comes out, tells Theory, you're already drinking gallons of the Kool-Aid. Not Pepsi, but, Kool-Aid's good, too. Tropical Kool-Aid is my favorite. Oh, yeah! That's the Kool-Aid man, Booker T. Booker T, sucker! Yeah. Alright. It's like, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, but I'm not here to talk to you. I'm here to talk to the big boy up there, and that's Braun Breaker. And, sorry, I hit a speck on my phone. Anyway. So he says, the title match is already made for January the 5th, next week in Brooklyn, New York. My neck of the woods, pretty much a hop, skip, and jump away from my house. Not that I'm gonna go, even though my travel keeps on the show, but... Hey, if you got a ticket, man, sell to me, but I'm not gonna pay like $300 for that shit. I'd rather stay home, sit on my ass, and watch it for free on Netflix. Ha 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 ha! Because I got Netflix for free. For 2 years! Till 2027. It would be like a year and a half, really. 21 months left of it. 2021, actually, so I got it in, I got it in October, so, my 2-year plan, so, yeah, I have 21 months left. As of January 21st, I would have, 21 months left. Because it'll be my 3rd month, so. So, it ends in October, then I have another 2-year deal on my package. Not that package down there, but, that's lifetime for you ladies out there, and the missus too. But I digress. But yeah, my overall package that I have with the Rich Man's Cable, and I get a nice little $10 off my actual price for 2 years. That ends in December of 2027. So everything is gone. I won't have Netflix in November. I don't even think I can re-up in 2027 with both of them. So I might get rid of Netflix. We'll see what happens with that. I might get rid of it. I might not. I might just watch it on my PS5. Because I still have my account. So, my Netflix account, but I can change it to I can take it off my Dish, because I have it on Dish too. So, what I can do is, pretty much, what I could do is when I watch Raw, coming up in 2020, end of 2027, 28, I can just not even put the TV, well, I have to put the TV on, because I just change it, and I put my account on my PS5, so I can watch it on my PS5, via my PS5. So I don't have to, worry about paying like $8 a month and shit on my cable bill. So, save a little money, but it's fine. But we'll see what happens about it. But I'll probably have more money that I can just save, just keep it on my package, because I have satellite with Netflix. But I have ads, which sucks, but, Anyway, moving on. Where was I? Alright, so title match is set with next week in Brooklyn. I could come down there and get my ass handed to me, but then there will be no title match. Why don't you just do it? Anyway, so Punk goes to the ring, because he's an idiot, gets inside the ring with everybody there. I'm like, oh, he's asking for a death wish. So he asks Braun, or, hey kid, what do you got? So everybody went outside the ring, except for Braun. So Braun says, I'm ready to take you out, because I'm tired of being called the future, because I am the now. Well, basically, I'm the future, I'm not the future, I am now. Now! Everything that he said is happening right now. What happened to then? You missed it, you dumb mark. Hey, if you don't like me saying that line, don't watch Spaceballs then. But you will, because it's a classic. And your kids are gonna love it. That's another good movie, Back to the Future. First two, not the third one. Don't even go there with that one, with me on that one, because I don't like number 3 at all. Big floor. So everyone's waiting for Braun to fall apart. Go find someone. He's like, go to the back and find someone that looks like me, fights like me, and has the dog in me, basically. He's like, yeah, I came from a famous wrestling family, the Steiners, Scott, Rick and Scott. Steiners! That stupid song in WCW. I hated that theme. I hated the Steiner theme in WCW. It was just so 90s, late 80s, early 90s garbage pop. Ugh. I mean, yeah, it kind of had a groove, but I wasn't a big fan of the Steiners theme song in WCW. Even WWE's theme was garbage, too. I mean, come on. Could have given a Michigan fight song or something like that, because they're from Michigan, so. I usually have tag teams back in the day had cool theme songs, like the Legion of Doom. Had, that Paranoid by, that great band that you know and love, Black Sabbath. Big ups to Dad, Ozzy. What's up, Dad? You having fun? With Lemmy and, Ronnie James Dio and Randy, you kicking some ass? What are you doing up there? I'm recording a song, shut up! Okay, thank you. But I love you like a son, I miss you, man. I miss you too, Dad, thank you. If you think I'm mocking Ozzy, fuck you, I'm not. I miss the guy. I think we all miss Ozzy. If you don't miss Ozzy, there's something wrong with you. The godfather of metal. Pretty much the father of metal, not the godfather, but, Well, I guess you could say that too. Without Ozzy, I wouldn't have music, There would be no heavy metal. There would be no this with Ronnie James Dio. And Gene Simmons can claim all up the wazoo that he created this. You didn't create shit. You just want the royalties because you're running out of money. Not that you are, but, Ronnie made this. Not even Ronnie, really the Italians made that, because this is if you watch Ronnie James Dio's documentary, this is the evil eye, or it's called in Italian the Maloik, which is basically the evil eye. You can give the evil eye, or it can protect you. So, give the evil eye, or protect you. So, that's a little Italian lore, because I'm Italian. One sexy beast of an Italian. Right, ladies? I don't discriminate, man. I have an Italian, I have an Irish, I have a black, I don't even do an Asian. Well, I have, I don't discriminate, man. You think I'm a racist? I love all people of all different nationalities and races, I have black friends, I have white friends, I have Italian friends, I have, Jewish friends. But I don't say any really stupid things, I have in the past said the N-word once on a video, but that kind of got me in big trouble, but that was years ago. I'm not the same guy from, 2012. You know, I hate most parts of Canada, but you know, because I'm a full-blooded Italian American. Well, I'm an American, but you know, I have Italian blood in my veins. Even though you know, my mom's side of the family is Irish, but I don't consider myself Irish at all. I don't even care about St. Patrick's Day. You know, but I'm full blood. I'm like 99.9% Italian. So, but I digress. Anyway, moving on. Where are we here? So Braun tells Punk, go in the back and find somebody that has the dog in them like I do. And you know, being from a wrestling family puts more pressure on me. While you were on the Indies, I was on the field with the Baltimore Ravens. That's right, Otaku. Anyway, he says, next week, I'm going to put you in the ground, damn, and take your title. So then Punk retorts, says, you're more ready than anyone in the back, but I'm not even ready. Okay. And he says, Braun, if you want this belt, you know, and he lays it on the mat, kind of like drawing the line in the sand from, like, what was this, Terry Funk era? Remember that, Terry? I remember that in Japan. I did that a lot in Japan in ECW. Because I was a hardcore legend in Japan and ECW. Forever! Never! Okay, Terry, go to bed. Don't tell me to go! Shut up! Terry, go to bed. Yeah, thank you, Terry Gordy. Get out of there, you know. Take him to bed, too. Can you ask me? Go to bed, Mike. I don't need you. I don't need your help right now, but thank you anyway. You know, next time, knock. I don't knock when I ask to call for you. I gotta knock now? Yeah, God said you gotta knock next time. Fuck. Alright, next time I'll knock. Alright, you wanna say goodbye? Bye! I gotta knock to call him? Come on! Sorry. But, yeah. Yeah, if you don't like my impressions, fuck you too. More to come in 2026. Maybe new ones, who knows? Alright, so Punk lays the belt down and says, go ahead, go pick it up. Go ahead, come on, pick it up. You know, it's heavier than you believe it to be. And, Punk's like, I'm not ready to let this go. And stop coming into these sold-out arenas and say how great it is to be alive on Monday night in Orlando, Florida, cheap pop fucker. Then he says, we're not the same. That's because one of us is CM Punk. Well, the guy with the mic. And he says, one day someone's going to beat me for this belt, but it's not going to be you, Brownie, on January the 5th. And that was pretty much it. Not a bad promo from both guys. You know, Punk always brings the fire. But hey, Braun held his own. I think it's going to be a good match on Monday. Now, could Braun win? I hope he does, so we don't have to get what might happen. And that's Braun going to the losing and going to the Royal Rumble, possibly winning, and then you have Roman winning the Elimination Chamber. But if they go with what was actually been said in the dirt sheets that Roman was going to win the Royal Rumble, face Cody, and in their third match in their trilogy, beat Cody, and Cody goes bye-bye, maybe go back, maybe he turns heel, maybe not, doesn't. And then you have Braun and Punk at Mania, probably night 1 or night 2. If they go with what we saw at Survivor Series, I wouldn't change it. I'd have Roman win the Royal Rumble, Braun wins the Elimination Chamber, you know, and then Roman's like, oh, who should I fight? Should I fight Punky Brewster, or should I fight Cody? And what we saw at the end of War Games, you know, pretty much, it looks like it's going to be Cody, and he's like, I'm never teaming with you again, this is the final time. So, I'm pretty much thinking Roman's going to pick Cody. He has, I would do that. Because he's primarily on SmackDown anyway, so... Go after Cody, get the unified title back, go on a nice 5-year run again, and then retire. But this saying he's going to have a short reign, which probably means like a year. In Roman's terms, it's about like a year. But then again, who knows? And who would beat him on SmackDown anyway? Unless it's maybe Oba. Oh, I would love to see that. Oba versus Roman? Ooh. Sign me up. So I don't think it's gonna be like a mid card like Carmelo Hayes or even Trick Willie maybe, or who knows. But I would pay to see Roman and Oba go at it 1-on-1. Big beefy man slapping me to Mania, number 43 or 44. But I think Oba will be a champion by the end of next year anyway on SmackDown. Maybe win the US title. Maybe he'll be the one to beat Roman next year. Maybe. I mean, we'll see. Or he's just gonna make him a monster, and then, like, he's gonna say, "Hey, Roman, give me the belt!" Because I'm the Hula! The Maganda! The Hula! Who? The Destroyer! Who? The Bully of War! And I will be your tribal chief! Or something like that. It'll be epic fucking promos. With Oba and Roman, or Roman and Trick. That could be interesting, but... I mean, we'll see. But Roman doesn't... I mean, I think he's going to have one final run. It's probably going to be when he wins at Mania. That'll be his final world title run. That'll be pretty much going to the movies, you know, doing movies, maybe. He has like a year or two left in him. And then he'll probably just retire. We'll have a retirement tour for Roman, which will be sad. Issa will be crying up the wazoo. Now, depending on where Roman's final match is and who he actually loses to, or, I mean, not loses to, I mean, his final match, that'll be interesting. You know. But we have that. Alright, so, pretty good promo, and I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars, and we're off and running on Monday Night Raw. And to be honest with you, after this, it kind of went south. And then with the main event of the Usos taking on AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for the Raw Tag Team titles, that's when the show really picked up. That match was epic, and it pretty much saved the show from pretty much getting a really shit rating from me. I was about to give Raw about a 6. But anyway, we have that. Alright, we go to the back. We have Raquel Rodriguez promises no tricks in her triple threat match for the Raw Women's title with Nikki Smelly Bella and Stephanie Baker La Primera. So then, Liv Morgan, she comes in looking amazing as always. Says Judgment Day needs the win tonight, especially with Dom Dom, my boyfriend Dom Dom out for a bit with his shoulder. They actually mentioned it that he's gonna be out indefinitely, and then Fiend Balor talks to Byron Saxton and pretty much says 2026 Judgment Day is gonna get gold back around in the faction, and he's gonna be the first one to do it. I mean, we'll see. Maybe Finn Balor beats Punk. I doubt that, but or maybe he wins the Intercontinental title. And pretty much that's it. You know what's funny? I forget who has the Intercontinental title right now. I know the US title is Carmelo Hayes. I forget who has the Intercontinental title. It's not LA Knight, because he's on the shelf. Now, if I could get my computer to work, but didn't get to another tab, I would do that. I don't know it off the head. That's how bad the Intercontinental title is. I don't even know who holds it for the men. I'm trying to think on the Raw roster. Probably on the tip of my tongue, too. And he hasn't defended it in a while, too. That'll probably come to me. Alright, let's move on before we even go there. Alright, so Roxanne Perez comes in. Roxy joins the ladies, comes in, and agrees they want Raquel to win the belt tonight. So Raquel's like, I don't need luck. I'm Raquel Rodriguez. Okay. Alright, so we'll see what happens with that. And we will move on with that. Alright, now that I got my tab up. Intercontinental. Alright, let's see if I can get this. Who's the current WWE Intercontinental Champion? Does it say? Let me see. Alright, here we go. Who is the current champion right now? Oh, Dom. How can I forget Dom? That's embarrassing. I'm sorry, guys. It's late. I'm sorry. How can you forget that my son is the Intercontinental Champion? What is wrong with you, SA? I don't know, Eddie. It's late. It's 3:31 in the morning. I think you have something in that Pepsi there, SA. I think your mind is going loco, SA. No, it's just straight Coke, man. Straight Pepsi, I should say. I'm sorry, alright? 2026, I'll remember is Dom. That is just a major botch. Hey, I'm due for, I can always afford to have one before the end of the year. But, saying that in front of Eddie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Eddie. It's okay, but next year, you have to remember my son is the champ, okay? None of that bullshit. Okay, Eddie, calm down. I'm sorry. Next time I slap you in the mouth, you pendejo. Hey, Eddie, calm down already, please. It's late, and my head's not with me anyway. Maybe you should get your mamacita to slap your head once in a while. Hey, easy. Easy. She slapped my head. She slapped my head like 2 hours ago. Oh, you had some sangria then? No. Just had a good time. That's all it is. I didn't drink. I don't have anything to drink. I have no alcohol. Do you see anything in here, ladies and gentlemen? Pepsi. No, there's nothing in here either. You can't tell there's, mixed drink in here. See? You can't tell. Eddie can't tell. He's dead. I'm not dead. Oh, shit. I forgot this goddamn hate pendejo. Ay, cabrón. Okay. Say goodnight, Eddie. Adios, Ceci. Okay. Thank you. It's late, ladies and gentlemen. My head's not with it right now. I'm old. I'm sorry. God damn, I turned 49 years old, basically almost a week ago, and I'm already losing it. Not that I already lost it before. Alright, anyway. So we get that. Alright, so it looks like, let's see if Raquel can win the title from La Primera Stephanie Baker, but she has Nikki Bella to work, Nikki Belly, So we get that. So Nikki Bella, Raquel, and Stephanie will go at it right now. So let's get to that match. So starts with, it wasn't, before I do that, the segment with Raquel, Roxy, and Liv, I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Now, we get to the women's title match. Nikki Smelly Bella, Raquel Rodriguez, and La Primera Stephanie Baker. They go at it. It was a decent match, nothing great. Stephanie rolls up Raquel for an early near fall. Nikki Bella breaks up an early Devil's Kiss attempt, so no, yeah. No Booker T yet. Stephanie gets knocked to the outside. A running drop kick on the floor. Ow. Has Stephanie in more trouble. We go to break, come right back. Raquel Rodriguez pulls Nikki Bella's high cross body out of midair, setting up a throwaway slam. By the way, Nikki Bella's gear, gray and green. I wonder why. Because of her 23-year-old boyfriend that plays for the Eagles. By the way, St. Louis. By the way, Rams fans, how are we doing tonight, huh? Rams are getting shook right now. I mean, ever since they faced Seattle a couple weeks ago, downhill. They looked like they were going to get the #1 seed, and they faced Seattle on that Thursday night. And how Seattle won that game at the end with that touchdown and then a 2-point conversion. Ever since then, the Rams have been shook. Sad. Not really, man. They could have been #1 seed, and now they're looking at down the barrel of a #6 seed right now. Unless the Niners lose on Saturday, which they won't, hopefully, against Seattle to get the #1 seed. But if the Rams win and the Niners lose, they get the number 5 seed. The Niners will go from the #5 seed down to the #6 seed, and the Niners could play, next week, not this weekend coming, next weekend in chilly, possibly snowy Philadelphia, but the Eagles stink. Their offense is garbage right now. They won the NFC East because everybody else in that division stinks. So, Niners can go into Philly, cold as fuck Philly, beat Philly up, and then go on the road to who knows, but if the Rams lose to the Arizona Cardinals this Sunday, Niners can stay at #5 and face either Tampa Bay or Carolina. And I read that Carolina has to win against Tampa Bay because if Atlanta wins, Carolina go bye-bye. They can't win even if Tampa Bay loses, I think. Well, if Tampa Bay loses, Carolina gets the division. But if Carolina loses and Atlanta wins, they can't get the division anyway. So it's just like craziness in the NFL and the league where they play for paying in the final week of the season. Lots of things happen. You got the Steelers and the Ravens. Sunday Night Football, which makes no sense to me. That game should have been on Saturday night. The Niners should be on Sunday night. I really wish, Roger Bedell and even the idiots at NBC and ABC can switch that before the end of the weekend, but probably not. Stupid. That's fine. I'll take a Saturday night game. I'll take it because I don't have to watch anything on Sunday. Besides the Jets and Giants sucking ass to finally end their miserable year. And I don't really have to watch the Rams game on Sunday just because. I don't have to want to watch it. I really don't want to watch Sunday Night Football. I know Otaku will because, he has his team, probably choke against the Steelers for the AFC North and then they'll be gone. And then Otaku throws a fit. Not that he would do it anyway, because every team in Baltimore sucks. The Ravens suck. The Orioles suck. And pretty much the Washington Wizards suck. And the Nationals. I know Otaku's not a fan of the Nationals. He's a big fan of the Orioles, who do good in the beginning of the season and flake out. Kind of like the Mets. So, me and Otaku are in the same boat with our teams, just, they do good, then they stink. Except for my Niners, that's the only actual team that's actually doing good right now. The Rangers stink. The New York Rangers, they stink. This year has been really bad. Really bad. I don't understand what's wrong with them. They can't win at home. They're supposed road warriors, but they lost tonight in overtime to the team that always kicks their ass, that's Carolina. Can't win at Carolina at all. Ever since that one year when they went to the playoffs, beat Carolina to go to the final, the Eastern Finals against Florida. Which I think that series just, not the Florida series, the Carolina series kind of took the wind out of their sails. Because Florida just came out of nowhere. Well, they're the defending two-time Stanley Cup champions. I don't even know if, well, it's still early in the season. It's January 30th right now. We still got probably pretty much almost we're halfway done with the season. But the freaking Rangers, the way they're going, I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, if they do, they'll probably be 1 and out. The way they've been playing. Just been playing abysmal. Igor is not even standing on his head anymore like he did a couple years ago. Just a different team. I mean, I think getting rid of Kreider was a bad idea. Because now he's in Anaheim doing some good shit. Like everybody gets traded from New York teams. They get traded, they do better on their different team. So, you know what that means? Pete Alonso's going to have a monster year in Baltimore. Brandon Nimmo's going to have a monster year in Texas. McNichols probably have a good season in Oakland. And Diaz will come to New York and shut us down. But I'm hoping not, but I don't know. But I wish them all well. As far as the Mets go, I know they probably won't make a big splash like they've been saying. You know, Uncle Stevie and that schmuck David Stearns probably not going to make a deal until probably after the new year. And pretty much we're about 6 weeks away from spring training. 6, almost 7 weeks. So I think as soon as the sphere drops, David Stearns and Uncle Stevie, you better put the pedal to the metal and get somebody. Like a starter like Framer Valdez. And maybe that Japanese guy, what's his name? Tommy Okamoto, Tomato, Bellinger, is a pipe dream. I think they're gonna get Roberts from the White Sox. I really don't like, but we need somebody. Gotta make it. Gotta make certain deals that don't make sense. But if they do good, then fine. But I think it's just going to be a rental. They're probably going to sign him for like a year or two and a cup of coffee, get out of here. A cup of coffee, macho. Like the Macho Man, Randy Savage would say, cup of coffee. Ricky Steamboat, a cup of coffee. I know you take, the Macho Man, Randy Savage, the cream of the crop. Cup of coffee. Randy, where did you get all those creamers from? I even know when he did that promo with Mean Gene, with the cream of the crop promo, cup of coffee thing, he had all these little thing of creamer. Like, where did he get that from? Did he have them, he had them stashed somewhere, in his pants or something. And he's just, popping them out. I'm like, where did he get them from? He stole all of them from catering? Where did you get those, Randy? Well, I stole them from catering. Oh, yeah, don't tell anybody. Okay, I won't. There you go. Alright, let's get back to this match. This horrible women's title match. Alright, so we go to break. Raquel pulls Nikki's high cross body out of midair, setting up a fallaway slam. Locks her into gory stretch. Ow. And Rodriguez leans her forward for a near fall. Nikki comes back. Nikki gets back. That was on Stephanie Vercurve. Nikki gets back in. Raquel has to break up the Devil's Kiss again. So Nikki snaps Raquel's leg on the rope. Ow. Then a high crossbody hits Raquel, but Nikki sends Stephanie Vercurve into the ring post. Ow. And then Nikki puts Raquel in the STF, a move made famous by her then ex-boyfriend. You can't see me. Fine, knuckle shuffle. John Cena, you can't see me, kids. We love you, John. So the fans are like, thank you, Cena. But But then Raquel twists that into a leg lock, with Stephanie then coming in, adding a double devil's kiss. Ah! 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 Yeah! Oh yeah, man! Well, all we need is Booker T. You got a little Booker T chant too. And alright, then Stephanie twists Raquel's knee out of the corner. Ow. But Raquel was able to knock both of them down. Got another break. We come right back. Nikki Bella sunset flip bombs the other two down for near falls. And then Stephanie Vaquera's double underhook face plant into a code breaker. She picked her up. I thought she was gonna hit Angel's Wing. She just picked her up like this position and went boom. I was like, whoa. I was like, did you just hit a J-driller? But, you know, even Joe Testa was like, oh, that was impressive. Impressive. Like Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader would say. Impressive, Skywalker. Impressive. We got that. That gets a near fall on Nikki Bella. Raquel had to make the save. And then Raquel counts a tornado DDT, but gets small package for a near fall. They get back up. Raquel tries a double Tahana bomb. Stephanie slips out, but she hits Nikki Bella with it. And then Stephanie sends Raquel to the outside. And she steals the pin on Nikki Bella, who I figured was going to take the pin anyway. 1, 2, 3. Stephanie Vaquera La Primera retains the Raw Women's Championship in 17 minutes. That was decent. 2.5 out of 5 stars. And that's it. So Stephanie Vaquera is still your reigning, defending Raw Women's Champion. And we'll see what happens with her in the new year. And that's that. Alright, then we go to look like the loading dock / parking lot area. We had Jackie Redmond talking to Walter. He reminds us that he made John Cena tap out like a little bitch. He did. And then, of all people, Ron the Truth Killings, R-Truth, comes in and says the disrespect has to stop. And keeps saying that over and over and over again. And basically tells Walter, you're a piece of... And then he kind of like whispers in his ear, shit. I was like, did you just kiss him? Nasty fool. Anyway. So Walter doesn't like that. Then he's like, he pulls back and starts laughing at Truth. Says, well, is that a challenge? Then I guess I'll see you out there. I'm like, oh boy. F in the comments for R-Truth. Adios, dude. Look at that. Alright, so I give that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go to the Raw. Well, not the Raw Women's Tag Team Champions, but get to the overall WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. My first and second amazingly hot Asian wives. We got Asuka. Nobody is ready for Asuka. Except my dick. And then Kairi Sane. Looking amazing. They come out. Brag about beating... Asuka brags about beating Rhea Ripley last week. And then calls the fans babies and shit. I'm like, you are all the babies! Baka! Pretty much. Says Io, my third wife, Io Sky, never should have attacked Kairi! Actually, well, Kairi says that. He says, Io, you should have never attacked me. I am your sister, blah, blah, blah. And then she says, Io, and she goes, that was funny. I was like, damn, Kairi, easy, be easy. So she says that, and then Asuka's like, Kairi! And then she kind of goes, ah! Almost fell out of the ring. I was like, shit. The fans like, Kairi! I can't wait for Kairi to turn on Asuka and just say, stop this madness! Stop treating me like a child! But we're going to get that at Mania, most likely. I mean, we'll see. So, Asuka cuts Kairi off. And then, pretty much, says, Baka, 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 Baka! And then, basically says that we are the women's tag team champions because we are the Kabuki Warriors. And Kairi tried to say that, but Asuka's like, Kabuki Warriors. So we get that. Then we hear My Brutality. Mommy Rhea Ripley and my third amazingly hot Asian wife, Io. So Io, Sky, they come out. They run to the ring. Asuka and Kairi will leave the ring, but then Rhea and Io meet them on the other side of the ring. Io gets sent back first, that injured back, into the announcer's table. Ow. And then Asuka throws Io over the timekeeper's area, and they start beating up on Mommy Rhea Ripley. They try to go for the assisted insane in the membrane, insane in the brain. The insane elbow. Io, which she should have done like last week, or pretty much last week, shoves Kairi off the top rope. But she didn't do that, and Kairi came with the insane elbow to the small of the back. So, why didn't you do that last week, Io, and then you do it this week? I mean, okay, but still. And then Rhea Ripley and Io basically beat up Asuka. Then they have Kairi in trouble, and Mommy Rhea Ripley tries for Riptide. Kairi somehow got out of that. And then, pretty much both of them get kicked out of the ring. And that's basically it. And then, Io and Mommy are celebrating. Io's like really quick. So, we'll see what happens with that. But I think all signs are pointing to Asuka and Kairi retaining the women's tag team titles. And I think Io's back is going to come into play. So I think Io might take the pin next week. Not great, but, I understand because of, the storyline and everything. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And if they're gonna go with Asuka, Kairi, and Io at Mania, sign me up. I'll be in tears. I'm like, who's gonna win? I don't know. I love them all. If I had to pick anybody to win that, it has to be Asuka because she's 0-7. But they're probably gonna give it. They're gonna probably give it to Kairi. I love it. I mean, it's so hard to predict that match. Kairi, Io, and Asuka. Who wins? You have Asuka finally getting a WrestleMania win? Or do you have Kairi get her first Mania win? Or do you have Io win again? Like 2 years in a row. She won it this year, retaining the women's title against Bianca and Rhea Ripley. And she wins next year by beating Asuka and Kairi. But I think the way you get to that match is Kairi just will have, will be, in a corner, and then, we don't know what's going to happen, and Kairi gets fed up with Asuka's bullshit. And she's like, I want to be my own person. I do things on my own. I'm sorry, Asuka-chan. Kana-chan. Io-san, I'm sorry. They make the match a triple threat match. And then Kairi wins outright. I wouldn't be mad whoever wins that match. I would not be mad. I wouldn't care, So that's my 3 Asian wives. Then they just got Mino to just worry about. Alright, we got that. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that little segment. So we'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw with the women's tag team titles. Alright, we're going back with Rey Mysterio, Booyaka Booyaka. He's getting ready for something. He's getting ready for his match with Austin Theory again. He runs into CM Punk, who wants to go out there and says, I got your back, blah blah blah. And Ray's like, no, I already phoned in a favor of my own. Let's say. I wonder who that could be. And we got that. So Punk's like, all right, good luck. I'm out of here. That's that. All right, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. All right, then we get to the 3.5 minute death of R-Truth. So that's that. So we have Walter versus R-Truth on the next match. And, you know, Truth did a few things. He started to come back with the shoulder tackles of Doom, knocking Walter down a little bit. And then I think he was trying for, I think the, you can see me? But Walter's like, fuck that shit. Kicked him right in the face. Hits a power bomb for a near fall because he picked him up. The referee's like, what are you doing? And then, right as soon as he picked him up, he locked him in the sleeper and Truth go night-night. That's it. So, 3.5 minutes, Walter gets the win. And he just continues to run amok on Monday Night Raw. And that's that. Match he gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. I know it's a Walter match, but still. Kind of a squash-ish. Look at that. Alright, then we go to the locker room with the Usos, Jimmy and Jay the Yeet Man. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet! Look at that. Jay's not sure if he, if he can live up to be the tag team champions again with his brother. He's having some doubts. He's feeling depressed again. He's crashing out again. Like, 1 week he's crashing out, then next week he's all buddy-buddy with his brother again. Buddy-buddy with Roman, kind of. And, it's like, we're going to win the tag team titles, dog. And then he's back to being depressed again. I think he's bipolar. Maybe Jay Uso is bipolar. I don't know. But anyway, Jimmy has to come in and give him a pep talk. Says, nah, dog. We know I didn't make you come back just to do this shit. This is not the Jay Uso that was world champion. That's not my brother talking to me. It's like, who are you? So, kind of lifts Jay's spirits up a little bit. And let's see what happens in the main event. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get another video for the Buddha, the Destroyer, the Bringer of War, Hu Oba, Hu Femi. So is he going to Raw or SmackDown? I think he should go to Raw. Let Oba go to Raw. Trick goes to SmackDown to be with his wife, Lash Legend. And we could see a Trick Mellow Gang reunion. Go after those tag team titles. We'll see. And Trick could win the U.S. title from him, Mellow. I mean, we'll see. And then in the women's division, if Kaylani comes up, she can join up with Mellow on the SmackDown women's roster. I think that's fitting. If Jordan Grace comes up to the main roster, put her on Raw. The Stink. Then again, maybe her and Stephanie McCool can relive their little feud. I think JC Jane could go to Raw. I don't know about the rest of Fatal Influence unless they're gonna break them up, which kind of sucks. But if JC's coming up alone, then I guess you could have Fatal Influence as Fallon Henley and Laney Reed, unless they're gonna add another person, like I don't know who. But I see a few, besides Trick and Oba and possibly Kaylani Jordan and Trick Willie, like I said. I don't know who else could. Javon Evans is probably going to Raw. I put him on SmackDown, but most likely going to Raw. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Probably the start of 2026 or after the Royal Rumble. And then we might get more people coming up after Mania. Who? I don't know. Maybe Jada Pucker. We haven't seen her in a while. I think Lola Vice is going to go to SmackDown because Poppy Priest is on SmackDown. And then, it's going to be a totally new roster coming up by the time we hit Mania season. It's going to be exciting. So, everybody is pretty much leaving. Like, AJ is going to be retired at Mania by Walter. Beastie Brock Lesnar's gonna retire in his hometown of Minnesota by Walter. Jericho, if he does come back, will probably be gone by Walter. I don't know when. Probably after Mania, I would assume, but we'll see. I mean, Jericho's contract ends pretty much in about 24 and a little over 24 hours. And what I read, that Netflix wants to have him on the January 5th anniversary show rather than at the Royal Rumble. So, I mean, never say never. If so, we'll see if Jericho is on the show. Whether he comes out at the end after Punk and Braun Breaker, you know, a surprise appearance, or during the show, who knows? I'm just saying, if Netflix wants him on the January 5th show, because it's going to get huge ratings for them on Netflix. Instead of being like number 8, they're probably up to the top 5 at least. But, I mean, we're talking WWF. We're talking about Triple H creative. Like, I don't want Chris Jericho on my show until the Royal Rumble. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens on January the 5th if Jericho even does show up. But, like you said, never say never. So, alright, we got that. So we get a video from Oba. Then speaking of bouncy Javon Aaron's, he runs into AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, the Raw Tag Team Champions. Praise him for the match at Saturday Night's Main Event with Leon. And they say, hey, if you get your boy Leon, to come around, we can run it back again. I would love to see that. So, they say, wherever you wind up, get Leon on board and we'll run it back again. Okay. So, Javon appreciates that. Runs into Los Americanos, El Grande Americano, that's Ludwig Spears, Marcel Bartel, and Pete fucking Dunne, that's Rayo, and Tyler Bate as Bravo. So basically, him and Javon kind of argue, and then Ludwig Spears did the entire rest of the promo in Spanish. I was like, am I watching Lucha Libre de Mundo Televisión Excelente de mi Studio? It's like, oh yeah, I needed Easter to translate here. Shit. I don't know a lot of Spanish. And, Rosa was, like, watching it. I was like, what? She didn't know some of it. It was like, I don't know what's going on here. Anyway. So, basically, what came out of it was a whole bunch of Spanish. With, Dragon Lee talking like in Spanish and calling, like, a grande americano, freaking pendejo and stuff like that. But if you notice, I didn't notice this at the time. I watched it back on the WWE YouTube channel. In the back, where all these guys were talking, American Made, the Creed brothers, Joe Justin Brutus, and Ivy Nile, they were looking on at, El Grande Americano. They looked pissed. So it's only a matter of time before the original Grande Americano, Chad Gable, comes back. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him next on Monday. I wouldn't be surprised. He's going to be in the Royal Rumble, and that's going to be a big ovation. Oh, it's just Chad Gable! It's not a Grande Americano, it's his cousin. The American Gringo. No. But I digress. Alright, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm thinking a 6-man tag team match with all the participants next week in Brooklyn, New York. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we go to Paul Heyman and company. They officially welcome Austin Theory into the Vision. And each person says, I got your back, I got your back, I got your back. And then Paul Heyman even sends Logan Paul to the ring to have Austin Theory's back. Spend some quality time with each other. Not like that, you fucking pricks. But I digress with that. Moving on. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get to Rey Mysterio taking on Austin Theory, Logan Paul at ringside. It was a pretty good match. Theory elbows Rey in the face to cut him off. Then he sends Ray hard into the ring post. Ow. We're going to come right back. Ray comes back, hitting a top rope seated senton splash into a running head scissors. Also, there he tries something like a torture rack, but gets spun into a DDT for a near fall. Then Ray sets up the 619. He has it all dialed up, but then Logan Paul basically knocks Ray out, causing disqualification. So Ray wins by DQ in exactly 7.5 minutes. Match gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. After the match, 2-1 beatdown. Until we hear the music of the returning Pentagon Zero. He was at the Niners game on Sunday night because he's good friends with that guy named George Kittle, who's an avid WWE fan. Bailey loves that guy, but George Kittle's married, and I don't know what Bailey's relationship status is. You idiot! Well, but Bailey, if I ever meet you, give me a hug. I don't know if she'd give a hug to me. I don't know if she'd give hugs to people anymore. I mean, besides Lyra Valkyria, but... If I ever went to a meet and greet with Bailey, I would wear my Niners jersey in pride. And I was like, bring it in, man! We'll talk Niners for about an hour, and he's like, fuck you, Line! I'm talking here about the Niners. Get the fuck back and shut up. Nah, I'm kidding. We'll talk the Niners for a little bit, and then we'll take a picture, and then I'll get out of there. But, yeah. Yeah, I'll talk to Pentagon about the Niners, too. It's like, hey, what is it, Zero Mando to the Niners, ese pedo, I met Pentagon way back when he was doing the Indies. Well, actually, it wasn't doing the Indies per se. It was like 2020... What year was that? It was 17 or... Yeah, between 17 and 19. Because he was wrestling in Tier 1, became the Tag Team Champions with Matt Riddle. Was it Matt Riddle? No, he faced Matt Riddle, I think. I forget. But it was there, and I think he took on Matt Riddle. Before Matt Riddle became, big in WWE, he was on the indie circuit. And he wrestled for a couple of promotions here in my neck of the woods. Won a couple of those matches. So I knew Matt Riddle before Matt Riddle was even known in WWE land. So it pays to go to indie shows because you never know, your local indie guy could go to the main roster. Who will be seen on WWE TV, because I know a few guys have been security guards on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. I know one of them is the champion of the promotion I follow mostly, but good guy. All of them are good guys. Hey, can you get me on the show next time? I know the promoter too. Like, hey, let me ride with them. Let me be a security guy. I'll be knocked out by Braun Breaker or some shit. Don't get speared. If I get speared by Braun Breaker, I don't think I'll be talking to you guys anymore. You don't like that, right? Some of you fuckers who need to get, put in your place. Especially you dumb Brits out there, but I digress. All you dumb fucks who do 3-hour streams drunk. That's another story for another time, but yeah. Keep talking about me in 2026 because I won't listen. And I won't care. That's that. Alright, so Pentagon comes back. We'll see what happens with that. Moving on. Alright, then we got a video with their name is Rio, and they dance upon my lap. And when they're done, they go and take a nap. Pretty much. Rio, Mommy Rhea Ripley, and Io. They're ready to win the women's tag team belts next week. So, short and to the point, little vignette video, and that's pretty much it. It's windy outside. Shit. It's going to be windy tomorrow. It's been windy all day today. It was 51 earlier this morning, and then went down the drain. after we got 4 inches of snow this past weekend, which could have been 8, but thankfully, the second part of the storm we got went a little bit east of my neck of the woods, and we were supposed to get around 6 to maybe 4 to 8 inches, and we only got 4.3. Well, my neck of the woods got 3, so dodged a pretty sizable bullet. Could have been shoveling 8 inches of snow instead of about 3, maybe close to 4. So my back didn't hurt that much. But yeah, now we're getting into January, and say maybe the first weekend of January, not official weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, might be a little bit shitty. I hope not, because I do gotta go to a concert that weekend. So I may or may not go. But, right now I don't even know the long-range forecast for that day, so I'm giving it some time, because you know how weather changes on the fly almost. But, hey, if I don't go, at least I save some money. I could go maybe the week after, if it gets changed, and we'll see what happens with that. I wouldn't even go to the show if the show was still on in a snowstorm. I'm not going. I know a couple of my friends might go to that concert, but because it's in the city in a bar that we frequent, so I may or may not go. But depends on the roads and depends on the weather, and I don't think any of us want to get stuck in the snow. We're stuck on the train or the bus or whatever, and we're fucked. I'm like, how are we gonna get home? I don't know. Call an Uber, I guess. Good luck getting that, too. Probably be coming home, walking home on the free, somehow walking home on the Brooklyn Bridge all the way home. That's a long trip. That's like a couple of hours walking distance. From my house to the Brooklyn Bridge, it will take forever. But I digress. We'll see what happens next weekend. Alright, we got that. Alright, then we go to break, we come back with the Women's Intercontinental Champion, the lovely Maxine Ju, who I believe is getting married. I don't know, she got married or she's about to get married to the dude from LFG. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Luke, right? That guy named Luke. Well, he changed his name now because now he's in Evolve. So, yeah, they get married, and Maxine says that she's going to bring the Intercontinental title to the wedding. Okay. Maybe she'll wear the Intercontinental title around her waist with the, the wedding dress and shit. Then she'll take it off like, oh, I'm the champ! Alright, so Maxine comes out for a promo. Thanks to fans for helping her get this far. And the fans like, you deserve it! And brags about making Becky tap out last week. In that little promo. Now she's ready to defend her belt next week on the program against Becky in round number 4. So on to the ride! Becky Lynch comes out, and the man has come around to Orlando once again. So Becky comes out and says, the only thing I tapped out was living here in Orlando, but the fans should cheer me for having her in the building. They don't. So she gets to the ring. Maxine threatens to make her tap out again, but then Becky says, I'm not here to start a fight, even though I start fights on a regular basis. So she's here to give. So it says, I'm here to give you some credit. Nice little Bubba Ray Dudley reference. My name is Bubba Ray Dudley. If you follow the ECW lore, you know that. So she's like, I'll give you some credit, Maxine. You've gotten a tiny bit better. I mean, it shouldn't be tiny bit. A lot better in the last couple months. But that's not going to be enough. Maxine laughs it off, says next week, everyone, maybe even Sports Illustrated, they saying that Becky is the greatest women's champion alive. Fuck you guys. Sports Illustrated can suck a dick because we all know Asuka's way better than Becky. And she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Of the modern era, not of all time, but... Anyway, so maybe Sports Illustrated is going to say that Becky tapped out again for the 4th time in a row. With the 4th match. Blah, blah, blah. So Becky, Becky goes off the rails on a crazy train, pretty much, and said that's too far, and talks about how people in publication says that she's so great. And it says next week I'm gonna find out what you are, because I already know who I am. That's pretty much it. Says, I'm gonna know who you really are, Maxine. And, see if she gets the belt back next week. I don't think she will, but you never know. Maybe they should give her the belt back because of Netflix purposes, and then, let Maxine, try to get it back. Or just let Becky hold the Women's Intercontinental title for the 2nd time, and let her go on a reign with it, and who wins, I don't know. Maybe Natalia wins it. Yeah, right. But, we'll see. But, good promo, 2.5 out of 5 stars. And, yeah. Maxine Dupree has pretty much, I believe, been the most improved wrestler on the Raw and SmackDown roster. Pretty much the entire roster. I think she's been the most improved. But that's saying something, on NXT, I'd probably give it to maybe Tatum Paxley. Maybe, but it's a stretch. Alright, after that, we go to Adam Pearce's office, and he has Trick Winnie! Someone! Whoa, that trick! What? Whoa, that trick! Oh yeah! So, Trick Willie is talking to Adam Pearce, and says, wants to try to do some business with him. It's like, hey, you want to talk? You got my number, 1-800-WHOOP. Whoop that ass, pretty much. So, they talk. And then, Bailey and Lyra Valkyria come in. If I can get my notes back. Let me get to that part. Alright, here we go. Alright, so Adam Pearce is all interested in having Trick Williams on the roster. Trick leaves him his card and says, hey, you're interested, give me a call, 1-800-WHOOP. So then Bailey and Lyra come in, going crazy. They say, hey, we got the women's tag team titles match next week. We want next after that. So Adam Pearce mentions that the Judgment Day get the next shot, meaning probably be Liv Morgan and Boxy, or Liv and Raquel, or somebody, and out of those 2-3 ladies, they get the title shot next. Bailey goes berserk and says, "What kind of operation are you running here, you bald fart, you idiot?" Basically called Adam Pearce a bald idiot, and Adam Pearce's like, "Yeah, I know, I'm here. I'm bald, okay, everybody can see it." So then, Bailey leaves in a huff. Lyra seems to think they have a deal. And then and then she's like, "Oh, I guess it's on the advisement." And Lyra leaves, and then Adam Pearce goes, looks in the camera and goes, "I need a drink." Loved it. I even went on Twitter and I tweeted to Adam Pearce. I was like, "No disrespect, Adam, but you, sir, you need to take some time off. Go on vacation, go on the beach and sip some pina coladas. You know what I mean? Take a couple of weeks off. We won't miss you that much. You need a couple of stiff drinks there, dude." Now you know how all those GMs felt. William Regal, Stephanie, even Paul Heyman at one point. Back in the day. even the anonymous Raw GM, who I can't believe was Hornswoggle of all people. That was Hornswoggle. You know, it could have been anybody. It could have been freaking Barry Horowitz. You know, somebody like, I'm the Raw GM. You know, or the ever so popular Barry. Oh. Could have brought back all the old jobbers, you know. Maybe Steve Lombardi could have been the Raw General Manager, the Brooklyn Brawler. Or Doink. Well, I don't think he was the original Doink. I think it was Doink number 2. I know he played the Doink character, but I don't know what version. Maybe the original or the second version. But he was also the Brooklyn Brawler, as we all know. Because he's from Brooklyn. He's actually from Brooklyn. That's why they call him the Brooklyn Brawler, because Steve Lombardi's from Brooklyn. I don't know what part, but I have to look that up. I'm not going to look it up now, but I'll look it up later. Or tomorrow. Alright, so we get that. So yeah, Adam Pearce, I think you need to take the rest of the... Well, basically take the rest of 2025 off. And then, you know, maybe, just maybe during, you know, sometime next year, take a long vacation. Well, as Biff Tannen would say, make like a tree and get out of here. It's leave! Leave! Make like a tree and leave. You sound like an idiot when you say that. Pretty much. Back to the Future 2 reference. There you go. Alright, after that, I gave that segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we go to your main event, ladies and gentlemen, of Monday Night Raw for the tag team titles. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee take on the So is Jimmy and Jay with their special entrance. We get Alicia Taylor with the introductions like we got in the women's title match. That was pretty nice. This match was epic. I mean, I loved it. It really picked up the show. Because it pretty much was nosediving badly. But almost 19-minute classic to end the show. Back and forth they went. I'm going to get near the end because it's late. I want to go to bed. Not that I got to do anything tomorrow, but I do have to go to the physical therapy tomorrow. That's the only thing I got to do. And then I'm pretty much done for the rest of the year. I'm going to come back Tuesday afternoon and pretty much sleep. Well, get ready for NXT, of course, and do some other stuff. I'm not doing any videos or anything. Unless, like I said, there's a big major news story between tomorrow and Wednesday night. Well, pretty much between Wednesday afternoon, because I'm going out Wednesday night for New Year's Eve festivities in the city not so much the city, because that's going to be a bitch to get to. So, but me and the missus are going to a couple of friends' house. I'm gonna go to my friend's house and just wait till the ball drops. We're not gonna go to a bar. We're thinking of maybe going to a bar first and then going to just to eat and everything, and then probably like around 9 o'clock we'll go to my friend's house, which is not that far away. So I'm gonna do that. So we're gonna rock out we're going to rock out. I'm going to rock out with my cock out, as always, but, you know, Rosa just rocks out with her tatas out. So, you know, yeah, we can do that, you know. So I know Lemmy always says, rock out with your cock out, alright. You know, but for the ladies, you can rock out with your tatas out. Alright, you know. So, there you go. Rock out with whatever you have out. Your cock for the guys and the tatas for the ladies. But just don't, you know, rock out with your cock out around me, you know. Guys, get out of there. The ladies, you can just throw your tatas at me. That's all I care about. You know, Rosa will be doing that probably Wednesday night too, so, you know, we're gonna party, that's when we will be drinking. Not too much, but, well, in my case, not too much, but, you know, her case, it's New Year's Eve, so why not just rock out? Rock out. Get drunk, get laid, do whatever, but have a happy New Year. That's what we're gonna do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, because it's, basically New Year's Eve is, the time where everybody has drunk sex, and that's the supposed best sex in the world. I haven't said that in a while. But, I mean, it is what it is. And that's that. Damn, I have this thing in the back of my head. Ow. Okay. Alright, so we get to the end. A super kick hits Dragon Lee, and a big time spear drops AJ. And then Jay gets the hot tag to Jimmy, who goes off the top rope with a superfly splash. I thought they were gonna win the belts, but AJ somehow kicked out of that too. And then everything broke down. Jay goes for a charge, hits the ring post. Ow. And then Dragon Lee hits a big running flippy dippity doo, knocks Jimmy over the announcer's table. That was impressive. And, almost hit Joe Tessitore, and Wade Barrett almost had to, get out of there quick. So then AJ hits the Pele kick on Jay. Then he hits the Styles Clash, although they're going to retain the belts, but somehow Jay kicked out at two. I was like, what? So then AJ tries another one. Jimmy comes in, makes the save, knocking AJ to the apron. AJ tries for the phenomenal forearm, but Jimmy hit a super kick out of midair. And then Dragon Lee tried to help out, but he got a double super kick for his trouble, which then he bounced off the ropes into the 1D. They hit the 1D, go for the cover. 1, 2, 3. We have a new tag team champions from Monday Night Raw, and that is the Usos for the 9th time. 9-time tag team champions. I thought there were more, but it's 9. Maybe for Raw purposes it's 9. But I think overall it's 9. I have to look it up, but Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett were saying 9. So we'll go with 9-time tag team champions. I'm glad they won. I hope they hold it through Mania season and maybe beyond again to go on another one of those big long runs. But now they got the New Day breathing down their throat. Maybe a rematch with AJ and Dragon Lee down the line. Maybe Eric and Ivar. Maybe the Judgment Day when JD McDumpfuck comes back. It's got a couple of tag teams breathing down the Usos' neck. Maybe the Creed brothers. Maybe the Grande Americanos. So at least there's going to be some competition for the Usos. Well, not much. So, we'll see what happens with all that. And that's that. Alright, so match-wise, 3.5 out of 5 stars. Really picked Raw up near the end. And bumped my rating up from a 6 to a 7 out of 10. So pretty much par for the course. Monday Night Raw. A lot of people gave it 8. That's fine, but my show, so. But it is what it is. So Monday Night Raw, the final Raw of the year. 7 out of 10 stars. And that's pretty much it for that. And we'll see what happens on the Netflix premiere. Well, Netflix 1 year anniversary show next Monday. And we got SmackDown 3 hours this Friday night. Should be great for the 3-hour show. Premiere, first episode of the year. And that's pretty much it. So, enjoy the next 2 days of wrestling. We got a taped NXT tomorrow. And a live edition of Dynamite from Omaha, Nebraska. Got some good stuff on that show as well. New Year's Smash for about 2 hours and change maybe. And then we'll probably end about 10, 15. And then we got, pretty much an hour and a half to the ball drops. So have a good day. You're going to do whatever you got to do. Come home, watch some wrestling, have a good meal, and then go to the bar or just stay home and watch some wrestling. And then wait for the ball to drop an hour and a half later or whatever. And then, then we usher in 2026, and then we pretty much don't do nothing on New Year's Day. I'll just stay home and do nothing. Watch college football all day. That's the only thing you can watch, So that's pretty much it. Once again, 7 out of 10 stars for Raw. So I just want to thank everybody for watching my channels throughout 2025. Had a couple of up and down months and everything, but in the end, I think we had a productive year. Not so much here on this channel. We got a, pretty much we're doing okay on this channel. Got a couple subs here and there, so thank you for subbing. And hopefully next year we can start, get on that road to 1300 at 1251 right now, and kind of bouncing back and forth from 1250 down to 1245, back up to 1250 again. So hopefully we'll be back on the road upwards to 1300 hopefully by beginning of the year, not the beginning of the year, by Easter maybe. We got that. Shadow Slayer, pretty much the same. So hopefully we can get to around 50, maybe 100 by the end of next year with the Shadow Slayer channel. And then the Metal God channel did, got a few subs here and there. So maybe we can get to 700 on that. The Rank channel went berserk and all the way up to 700 and little over, I think it's my last check, I think it was 773 or 70. No, I think 774 subs right now. So we're getting close to 800 on that channel. I think we'll hit that by middle to end of January or maybe early February. And then we'll be really on the road to 1,000. I think we could hit 1,000 by the summertime or maybe early fall. We'll see how that goes. And then who knew with my Peter Joseph channel, I didn't think it was going to hit 1,000 until maybe sometime next year. But we hit that right around a couple of weeks ago, actually. So now we got 1,050, a little over 1,050, 51, 52 subs. So we're on the road to 1,100 on there. I'm hoping by the end of next year with the Peter Joseph channel, we'll get to around 1,250, maybe 1,300. That would be really, really good as we go into the the 11th year on that channel, and pretty much we'll start year number. We'll finish off year 16 and hopefully by the end of the year start year 17 here on YouTube, and hoping to be here through at least the first half of 2026. Just to see what happens with the second half of The Price is Right. I mean, the second half of the year might be a little dicey, but I'll let you guys know by June-ish. And that's that. But thank you all for watching this year. Hope you all watch next year. And that's it. So, until next year, my friends. Happy New Year. And until next year, peace.